The more I think about it, the more and more I'm thinking the committee just absolutely got this right with the rankings within the current format. Now, there are some huge issues with the current format. I do not love the current format at all. In fact, I think it's one of the worst formats we've gotten recently. I'm planning on making a video about the current format and all the issues and ways you could fix them, but that is not this video. With the top 4 teams, Indiana, Georgia, and Texas Tech are all one-loss conference champions. They definitely deserve to be in that first round by top 4 team category. Now, Ohio State obviously did not win their conference championship game, but they did make it through the regular season without a loss, something no other team below them can say that they did. A&M also only has 1 loss, but they didn't even play for their conference championship game, and then JMU has 1 regular season loss, and they did win their conference, which Ohio State didn't do, but they're a Power 4 team. They're not one of the top 4 teams in the country. Oregon, I think, is definitely in. They have a couple of good wins and only have 1 loss, and it's a 10-point loss to the number 1 team. Ole Miss only has 1 loss, and it's to the number 3 team. Ole Miss also beat Oklahoma, so that's a really good win for them. Now, based just off resume, you definitely could have put them in the top 4, but Ole Miss also lost their head coach. So there is some sort of question marks going on about this Ole Miss team. A&M also only has 1 loss on the year, but their only marquee win was against Notre Dame, who's not in this, so I don't hate them being outside the top 4. Then Oklahoma, obviously, with 2 losses, but those 2 losses came when their quarterback was far from 100%. They don't have the resume to be a top 4 team, but they definitely shouldn't have been left out because of those 2 losses, especially when they did beat Alabama. There's not a ton of argument on these 4 teams. The biggest arguments are whether Alabama, Miami, Notre Dame, or to a lesser extent BYU should have gotten in. Here's the thing, I don't think that Alabama should have got punished for having to play 1 more game. Alabama got to the conference championship game, so I think Oklahoma, Ole Miss, and A&M couldn't do in their conference. They objectively had a better conference record and a better conference season than those 3 teams did. You're not going to say, hey, Alabama, you lost the conference championship game, and even though Oklahoma, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M didn't even get to the conference championship game, you're out for losing that game. Tulane being over JMU, I have no problems there. They would have been in the playoffs regardless of if JMU or Duke went. And then JMU being over Duke, I don't really have an issue with that either. Duke went 7-5. I don't think they deserve to be in the college football playoff. I don't have a problem with BYU being left out either. They got dog walked by the same team twice. And yes, that is the 4th best team in the country according to the committee, but BYU didn't really play anybody and have any great wins either. Their best win was a 3-point win to the 23rd ranked team in the country. I don't think that there's anything on their resume that shows they should have been in there. Now, that's not their fault. They play who's on their schedule, and they played everybody good except for Texas Tech. They had a chance to beat Texas Tech twice and couldn't get it done. And with the whole Notre Dame-Miami situation, you have to put Miami in when there's the head-to-head win there. Yes, Notre Dame has 2 technically better losses, except one of those losses is to Miami. So at that point, the losses don't matter. It's the fact that Miami beat Notre Dame on the football field. They settled it, put Miami in. Like I said, tons of issues with the current playoff format, and I don't love it, but based on the current playoff format, I think this is objectively the right move. Let me know what you think in the comments.